Okay, welcome to the In Business Links and FBI webinar series. We do this free once a month, and we are starting something new with this adventure. We're going to be opening an online newsletter, and that's going to take the place of these live sessions for 2 or 3 months out of the year, and then we're going to go to the live sessions and make them quarterly, I believe. So that's what we're heading towards. But so this session here deals with creating an online newsletter, as you can see, that delivers on all platforms, both the the iPad, the smartphones, the computers, and so forth. All right, so we're gonna go into, if you've like to join us and you have no audio, you can always phone in with the call number there and enter the code as well. And if you want to give us a message, just use the chat window for both your questions and messaging. And then also, if you're not talking, just mute your mic. Okay, very good. So here we are, the Faustino brothers, and what we do here is we create apps. And our famous one is Jethro Tull, which we just received a copyright for in the United States Copyright Office, and there you are. There's the emblem and the miniature copyright down below, bottom left. The Jethro Tull app is available in all platforms, and we will be updating it soon. They have a new USA tour, so we're working towards that goal to get it updated both for the Western New York concert as well as the Florida concert here in Tampa Bay. So stay tuned for our updates with the app. All right, so I'm going to turn the mic over here to Richard. He's going to be one of our guest presenters today. So Rich, give us a little introduction about yourself.
Hey, hello everybody out there. I'm Rich Faustino. I just completed my 53rd annual Matt's Music Recitals. We had 4 sessions, 1 on Saturday and 3 on Sunday. I also performed Saturday night with my old group Yesterday for Now for the last time. We haven't performed in 9 years, and we were returned to a fire hall installation there. I had a lot of fun and really enjoyed that. I also completed my 500th song written on manuscript paper the other day, so I'm now 500 songwriter, I should say. I have more in my head and my fingertips, but not on paper. And I'm enjoying teaching, and I've got about 35, 40 students a year. And in my spare time, I work on the Jethro Tull newsletter and support the Faustino brothers in all their endeavors and all the apps that we come up with, and working on videos and new videos and replacing some of the older ones that we had, and updating the website with my brother Gary and Russ Faustino. And we have a Week of Rock coming up in August, and this will be the 11th year, and we're going to have a new logo in the corner there to replace the Week of Rock 10, and I'm looking forward to that. And that's about it, Gary.
Well, that's pretty good. Impressive that you got the Matt Studio. What was it, 40th anniversary year of concert series?
53rd, 53 years. I've done 53 out of the 50. Out of 54. It was the 54th annual, but I've done 53 of the 54 years.
That's amazing.
That's impressive.
And your old group that you played with, by the way, did you play This Is the Last Time from the Rolling Stones?
The last time? Yeah, the last time was in there. Yeah.
It was in there.
It was in there. It was in the set list.
All right. Well, I can't wait
one more for the road.
Yeah, listen to some of those videos. I know you shared
some nice pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Facebook. Yeah,
very good.
Pictures.
All right. Well, I'm Gary Faustino. I do the graphics and some of the marketing and business development for the group for their FBI apps, and I was nominated for a Good Burger Award a couple of years back, and I'm very proud of that here in the Tampa Bay area. It was recognized as a business that has a involvement in the community. And we put together these series once a month, as we indicated. Russell's on the road today. He's our programmer and our most valuable programmer. And so he'll catch up with us. But he did do us a video that you'll see later on today. So we'll move along here. And we'll let the others that are joining us introduce themselves at the end, because we're running a little short of time. We got video plus a live demo to get through. So when we're offline, we'll have them introduce themselves. So get right into the topic here. Tips on creating an online newsletter. First, our agenda and talking points. We're going to talk to you about how you create that newsletter in the natural language, in their terms or with the industry standards. A little bit of social analytics analysis. Finding relevant, engaging stories is very important, especially for your audience. We want to make sure that they're engaged. And then we're going to do a tips and demo on the FBI app software daily, which is, it comes out daily, and then the tall news that we update once or twice a month manually. So two different approaches. One is more automated than the other. All right. So let's. How do you meet your audience's needs? Well, you inject a few things that people are interested in, like gameplay. These are some of the headlines that you could find right on paper.li. How your business can start getting more engaged in social media. Put that in the newsletter. How to use the metadata to be more nimble for your client, for your approach, and so forth. So you could read all these in their blog, and I would advise you to do that. So I won't spend too much time here, but those are some of the where you can find tips and how to utilize what's available to you, the tools that are available to you to make an engaging newsletter. Finding that relevant, engaging stories is one of the challenges, and Ross has given us a quote here to help you do that. The key to newsletters are the sources. For Tall, we selected capturing tweets from those Twitter accounts that Jethro Tull Twitter is following. Then we put in the hashtags, for example, hashtag Tull, to capture more input sources. Then we added more from the process, like the ultimate classic rock. So this is what we're going to show you, especially in the live demo, how to get that engaging, captivating stories for your newsletter. All right, so now we bring you right to the demo portion of the stage here. We're going to move right along so that we can include as much live material as possible. We're going to do the video tips first that Russ has put together for us, and then followed by the live demo that Rich is going to go into. So let me disconnect here and show you the video. Okay, so now I'm live here, and we're going to go to the video right here and start that up. Let me know if those in attendance can
Hello, my
hear
name
this.
is Russ Fastino. I'm going to show you the paper.li software here today that we created, the Fastino Brothers Software Daily.
Is that coming through, Rich?
FBI apps to go along with Fastino Brothers.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
and
good.
The new branding there. So a little bit about myself. You can see it right over here on the screen. I'm a Microsoft MVP, and I've established a lot of relationships in the software industry. Also with the Fastino Brothers, head that up. We are all from Western New York originally, all three brothers, Rich, Gary, and Russ. And I am a Microsoft MVP and also a senior cloud solution architect now for Ops Agility, as well as heading up Fastino Brothers. And done a lot of work in a way of developer evangelism, and also we helped write the endorsed Jethro Tull app that's been published. So that's a little bit about myself. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the topic at hand here. So we created a URL here, news.fastinobrothers.com. That is the custom domain that we have established for this particular news feed, and you can get that with the pro version of paper.li. We get a lot of free stuff, but if you want something like that, a custom URL, I think it's around $9 or $10 a month. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the dashboard settings here on the right when you go to edit up a newspaper. Of course, you have global settings, and this is where I just changed the name to FBI apps, put that right in there. There's a subtitle, stay on top of what's happening in the software industry, as reported by over 400 influentials in the industry. We'll get back to that one right there because that's a very important point. And then also we have more information about general global settings. Now the content is really the most important thing. And what you can do is you can add content sources by clicking on the content source. You can go get your sources from Twitter, Facebook, a website with RSS feeds, Google Plus sources, and YouTube sources. So you really can gather quite a few news feeds from various sources. You can also manually add in an article too if you want to go ahead and just go out to a site and add in a particular URL. You can do it right here as well. But what I did was I created some content sources, and for example, when I worked with Component One, I had the Ruscam TV Twitter, and I interviewed over 400 influencers, and I put them all on a list that I have up on Twitter. You can see right there, Ruscam-interviewees. So one technique is to build a list on Twitter, and then you can use that list to drive the input sources. And also I did a news feed I had from good developer sources, as well as various tweets that you can monitor with. I did with any hashtags that got Visual Studio in them, or app dev or WP dev. I'm capturing those tweets. We got feeds from Channel 9, Scott Guthrie, MSDN Online. A lot of great resources here. Android developers. We got tweets mentioning Xamarin in here, UWP, FBI apps. Those are all in the paper. So that's a very important piece to this. The success of your newsletter are the sources. Then take a look at some of the advanced settings here. You have various paper selections that you can do, and you can have, like here I've got business turned on, education turned on, science, and stories. If there was more that you wanted to have appear in your newsletter, you can go ahead and do that as well. If you are doing this competitively and you do have, like say, competitors you want to keep out of your newsletter, you can blacklist those people on websites so that they will not appear on your final version of the newsletter. And then you have all these modules for social media. Social media, you've got the ability to connect to a particular social media account. You can share what's on the top article. You can share a web newspaper link. I have that one turned on. Also, you have the ability to set some appearance things with the paper thumbnail and any kind of call to actions that you want to go ahead and utilize. Now, the web newspaper itself, you have the ability to do a public web newspaper. You can get the custom domain, which you can see we did here. Again, that's a pro option. The layout and appearance, you can go ahead and tweak how this thing looks, as well as any kind of embeds. And you got stats here to kind of see how many people are looking at your site. And then also on that, you have MailChimp. You can manage to help you get the word out about your newsletter. And also there's HTML export. So very important thing here in the upper right corner of the newsletter, you can see subscribe to the email newsletter. So there we're building up a nice subscriber base that gets this on a daily basis, as well as our Jethro Tull endorsed newsletter too that we have. So yeah, this is Russ Festino signing off here. Give you a little bit of the behind the scenes look at what appears in the FBI apps Software Daily. And let me tell you, if there's anything new in the software industry that day, you will see it in this newsletter. So make sure you subscribe to the Software Daily just by simply putting your email address here at news.FestinoBrothers.com. Thank you very much.
Okay, that was Russell.
Nice,
doing
Russ.
a demo. That was very good. Some tips that we haven't used in a while. So let me just get back to the PowerPoint here, and there we are. Now next up will be Richard doing some live editing on the Tull newsletter, which is also very exciting and fun because we follow that group since we were kids. I mean. Right? Yeah. I mean, we've been involved with Jethro Tull from the 60s on up, and then received their endorsement a few years back to create an app for them, and now we We share their events throughout the world. I mean, they are.
The paper in front of you, Jethro Tull, the String Quartets, is their new album. He's playing with a chamber quartet, and you articles, your headlines, photos, videos. You have arts and entertainment. This was published in May. I got one last month and this one this month. Trying to do it monthly. And over here you have the hashtag Jethro Tull. What you want to do is you want to drag these over into the letter, and you got to find a spot for it. So you
drag and drop,
Planet Rocks. You take that
from your source,
from your
right. Came up from the sources,
and you could check each one of these. If you don't like the photos, like this here, this is I don't know what this is here, shared by them. You could take and move that. Leisure. Here's one right here. John Mellencamp. Let's see if I can drag that in here.
Okay.
And then it goes back into the newsletter. And then here's your article. You want to move that up. You should be able to move these up or down. You can remove that from the headlines if you don't like that.
Great.
Songs from the 140th. And use that for the new one. So we're going to publish this with the new song playlist and redirect and see if that publishes. So I'm going to publish it right now. And you got more. You can add more to the draft, refetch it by hitting that.
Okay.
And this will go right back to contents if you want to add more. Now, I went through each of the photos, checking them, make sure they were what I wanted. This one here is like a newspaper article. I think I would take this one out because it's written in a different language. You see that?
Yes.
So I would delete that.
Just by hitting the delete can there? Yeah.
There you go. And much better. So before I publish it, I just want to see if there's any more new articles since then.
Looks like you got a double there.
And this is the same as that one. So what I would do is, and then you just take and do that. And that's how I edit it. The videos, I think I checked these earlier. Locomotive Breath, Minstrel in the Gallery, Jethro Tull, and they all look pretty good.
Okay.
Arts and entertainment.
And with this draft,
here, buy tickets.
The draft you can save for a later date too. You don't have to do it all at once, right? You could come back to it.
Right. You could do right. I think it's 30 days.
30 days. Okay.
And over here, leisure should be another one.
Okay.
So you can edit, and there's more content now than there was before. Let's see if I can move this over. And that was that one there. And then I also did this one here earlier. Pantera. Putting that into the mix. So that's it. And all the articles, you can check them all before you publish to make sure everything is good.
All right.
Redirect notice. We're going to garbage that.
Yeah. Some very good oversight. Making sure that the content is
checking each one, and then we could publish this.
Okay.
All right. Should we publish this here?
Sure. You hit that. That blue publish button, I believe, and
all right.
It's up there, and
it's
then
going to be publishing it. So this is another venue.
Yeah, and then when you publish it,
it takes a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, when you publish it,
there you go.
It sends a notice out to those that have subscribed to the newsletter that there is a new update to the newsletter, which is nice. So anytime you publish it, the subscriber base gets a notification that there's new information. Nice. Okay, I think.
And one nice thing, you can go to the archives here, and you could see when it was published last, and you can go through that, and then it shows the dates on each month that it was published.
Excellent.
It gives you a little extra. Published on the 5th and the 8th, and then last month it was published on the 4th, and I don't think we had anything in March.
Okay.
So it goes through that, and it shows you what dates are on there. So that's about it. Rich Festino over and out here.
All right, demo, that worked out just fine. You made a note that sometimes the different browsers you have better control. Right now, you're thinking Chrome is a little bit better control over the Edge browser from Microsoft. They will always improve them, of course. So we'll go from there. All right, so these are the resources. We have our FBI Software Daily out there with that address, news.festinobrothers.com. And you can see the newsletter that Richard just worked on at www.festinobrothers.com/tall-news-html. And then all the references for the paper.li are listed there as well in the deck, and they're all live links. So we hope that we've contributed to your afternoon with this little demo of how to create a live newsletter online. And you could always get in touch with us with all these links, and also directly through email with Russ, Gary, and Rich. So stop the recording, and then we'll have people introduce themselves.